It's a 3-paddle battle, all Luzz, all dual certified. Which one do I like best? Let's find out. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Smash Pickleball. Thank you for joining me today. Forgive me, this is a little bit of a fakery right now. I have my mic partially set up, but it is not connected to the camera yet because I don't have the correct connections to get it to the camera to work. So that's on order. This is just a placeholder for now. Maybe just to help you get used to there being a mic in my face, okay, if nothing else. But we have a fun one today. Luzz Pickleball was kind enough to send me 3 of their most popular paddles, the Canon, the Tornazo, and the Inferno. All 3 are very distinct in their own way, and I will go over gameplay and performance and build construction. And I know you guys have heard a lot of this info before, but just full disclosure, Luzz sent these paddles out to me for free with no obligation for a positive review. Everything in today's video will be my own opinion and nobody else's. And I was not paid, you know, so they sent me the paddles for free, but they are not paying me to say anything. I have full production control over this video. So let's get right into it. So I want to bring up something that I really haven't heard any other pickleball, you know, YouTube channel really talk about. Maybe somebody out there has, but I haven't personally seen it. And that is the fanfare and celebration of getting a beautiful new paddle that seems to be lacking in the pickleball community. What I mean is, Luzz Pickleball packages almost like nobody else. I mean, they send you this gold labeled all black box. It looks very luxurious. It's even got like a little magnetic snap on the front. I mean, it's, you know, it's a celebration. You're getting a new paddle. You know, it's something you're excited about. I love this. I absolutely love this about Luzz Pickleball's presentation. I know it's a marketing thing, and I know it's probably never going to go back in the box after I take it out, but that's besides the point. It should feel like a special moment. I really love what Luzz has done here. The only other company that I know that does any type of packaging like this is Eula. Now, when you buy one of Ben Johns' Pro 4 or Pro 5 pickleball paddles, they send it to you in a box not too dissimilar from this, and it comes with, I think it comes with weight and an overgrip, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's tape guard or head guard or whatever. But they send you a couple of items with the box, and it's all nicely packaged and everything. So props to Eula for doing that. And as much as they charge, they really should be giving you a lot more. But that's another story for a different day. But here we are, Luzz Pickleball. Let's see what the first paddle is in this box. Okay, so it's nicely protected in this micro bubble wrap that so many paddles come in. Okay, I believe this is the Pro 4 Canon, or the Canon. They don't call it the Pro 4, which is ironic because that's really what it's kind of modeled after, right? From Eula's lineup. So I believe this is just the Canon. Oh yeah, Pro Canon. Yeah, this. So another thing, right? And I'm gonna go over this probably a few times, but how many pickleball companies can you name that have more than one dual certified paddle. I mean, this is UPA and USAA certified. All three of these paddles that I'm going to show you today are dual certified. I've been playing tournaments, okay? Still got some I still have some tournament nerves, so I haven't been doing great in the tournament. Not really playing to my level yet, but that's a different story for a different day. But what I found shocking, absolutely shocking, was how many Gen 3 paddles I saw in the 4.5 and the open bracket division. I was playing in 4.5. My partner and I were talking about maybe doing open division. But the point being is almost everybody had a Gen 3. And almost every single one of them were a EULA paddle or one of these. You know, like there was a bunch of Luzz Canon, Pro Canon paddles out there. It was pretty amazing. And I haven't really spent an exorbitant amount of time playing with a Gen 3 paddle, so I'm kind of excited to try this one out and really get some experience with a Gen 3 paddle. I've heard so much about this. A lot of the better players that I play around, they play with this paddle. I mean, there must be something to it. Must be something to it. Okay, so let's go over general construction of the Pro Canon. The core is a polypropylene honeycomb with an EVA foam band around the perimeter, and the whole thing is thermoformed. So that is for stiffness and for durability. Not too dissimilar from a EULA Pro 4, with some differences, because this is a full band that goes all the way around the perimeter, where the Pro 4 is more of a diving board setup. So slightly different feel, some very similar performance though. Okay, so that is the Pro 4 Canon, or rather, I keep calling it Pro 4. The Pro Canon. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Here we go, another beautiful box. I'm not a big packaging guy, but I do like the fanfare. I do enjoy it for the moment, but it's like I enjoy the moment and then I move on. Okay, so this is a really nice touch, but it's not something I'm going to gush over and over again. All right, so here we go. Check this out. Look at that. This is the Inferno, and it comes with a little bit nicer, gold leaf paper, kind of dust protection. And ooh, okay. And it's got a formed foam layer here to protect the paddle. So a little bit different than the Pro Canon. Pro Canon is a $100 paddle, so even the fact that they went that far for a $100 paddle, I think says a lot. But here we are, here's the Inferno. And I can tell you, I've been seeing these things around a lot. Okay. Okay, so here's where I always get it confused, because Luzz named this the Pro 4 Inferno, but this is a Gen 4 construction, not a Gen 3. So it's just weird that they chose, the nomenclature and the naming the way they did for their Gen 4, when clearly it was, meant to take a shot at EULA's Pro 4 Gen 3 construction paddles, right? All right, so this is a elongated shape. It is carbon fiber T700 peel ply face, just like the Pro Canon. It is an MPP core construction. The premise behind the way they built this paddle is to have more power than even the Pro Canon, but still more control. That's interesting. I can't actually wait to try that out, and I definitely will. So that'll be fun. Get some gameplay footage of that. Okay, and then finally, but not least, the one that I'm personally looking forward to the most, because one of my favorite pro pickleball players, Chris Hayworth, plays with this paddle almost exclusively now. I know they kind of marketed the Pro Blade 2 to be Chris Hayworth's paddle, but the truth of the matter is he plays with the Tornazo more than anything. If you ever see him playing any tournaments, he's usually got this paddle in his hands. So I think that says a lot. Okay, let's go ahead and get it opened up. All right, same cool box, same gold leaf paper dust protector, and there it is. I love the presentation. It's really cool. Pro 4 Tornazo. Okay, so again, they're Gen 4 with a Gen 3-esque name implication. Okay, so where the Inferno was an MPP, this is an EPP core foam. Okay, same T700 peel ply carbon fiber face, and this is because of the EPP construction. This is going to be more poppy than the MPP construction in the Inferno. So a little bit different feel, both very powerful paddles. The Inferno might be a little bit more powerful, but we're going to test that and really find out. One other thing I'll mention too, the colors, right? The colors kind of took me a little while to warm up to. It is pretty loud. The graphics are pretty loud. Like this side is not too bad. But it's growing on me. And I think the reason why it's growing on me is because some of the really good paddles on the market are so dull by comparison, you know? So having a little bit of color, a little bit of flair, keep it interesting, you know, I think it's a nice touch. So all powerful paddles, I think the way it goes is this is the least powerful, the Pro Canon. The Tornazo would be a step up, but more poppy and more powerful than the Pro Canon. And this will be even more powerful, but a little more dwelly than this. Maybe feeling like it has a little bit more control. So we shall see. Stay tuned for play footage. This is all going to be one video, but in 2 parts. I'll start that now, and we will reconvene with some thoughts on the gameplay. We're back in the studio with a little movie magic. We are back in the studio. We got brand new lighting, brand new audio that's actually up and running now. Forgive me if the sound isn't exactly right, if you hear some echoing, or if the sound doesn't sound right to you, or if it sounds great. Please let me know in the comments below. Let me know if something about the lighting bothers you. I'm going to be making adjustments as we go here, but I'm trying to get it up to a more professional level for you guys, okay? All right, getting right into it. We played with the Pro Canon was the first paddle, and I'll show you some gameplay as we're going over it. But the Pro Canon before code is $109. After code is $92. Absolutely ridiculous value. This is their Gen 3 paddle. This is the first time I played with any amount of length of time with a Gen 3. I mean, I messed around with Gen 3s before, but not really several games. Maybe a game, and then I just kind of put it down, or just a few hits here or there. The only thing I did to any of these paddles was I put a Bohdi over grip on it. I put Bohdi grips on all of my rackets, or all of my paddles. If you guys want any Bohdi gear, I will also leave a I'll also leave a link and code to that below. But the Pro Canon, it surprised me in so many words. It really, really surprised me because, you know, I'm still fairly new to pickleball. I mean, I'm 9 months in, give or take, 8-9 months in. And, you know, you go into, probably like a lot of you go into it thinking, oh, Gen 4 must be better than Gen 3. And there are a lot of things about Gen 4 that are better than Gen 3. You don't have to worry about core crushing, for instance. And with the new advent of, you know, durable grit, you know, that's something that you're only going to see on Gen 4 paddles. And so when I picked this up, I was excited to try it because I'd never really played with the Gen 3 for a long time, or for a considerable time, until I started playing with this, and I was pleasantly shocked, I would even say. The pop is really, really good. The drive and plow through feel really good. In fact, I did not feel like I needed to add weight to this paddle at all. And so it is completely stock, and I left it completely stock. That is highly unusual for me. So I really like the balance and feel of this paddle. I think the biggest takeaway I can take from this Pro Canon is the feel. There is so much feedback, and not like arm shocking feedback, but just subtle vibrations that you get when you're striking a ball that you just do not get with a Gen 4. Some Gen 4s are a little closer than others, but it's not at this level. I'm going to use a lot of car analogies because that's the world that I came from, and the best way that I could describe this is a manual transmission car with no sound deadening, lots of mechanical grip with no electronic nannies. Like, there's no traction control, there's no, you know, devices to soften the ride or make it quieter. None of that stuff. This is just raw performance. And if you know how to wield and gain the most performance out of something that's like this, just very raw, it is a fantastic paddle. And at $92 after code, it's a no-brainer, absolute no-brainer. I mean, you could literally buy 3 of these things and have money left over compared to the new EULA Pro 5. I mean, come on. And look, I haven't really hit the new EULA Pro 5, full disclosure, so I can't really compare it to this paddle. But it can't be $200+ better than this. I don't see it. I don't see it. Maybe it is. I don't see it. Okay, the people that I see playing out there, a lot of 4-5 and up open players, tournament players. A lot of them are playing with this. A lot of them are playing with the Pro 4 EULA too. But you know, that's a paddle that's been known in the market for a while and tried and true, and so it's a trusted thing. So absolutely surprised how great this felt on drives, on pops. Touch was great. Control was really good. And because the balance was so good out of the box and I didn't need to add any weight, it's fairly light. You know, I don't know the exact swing weight of the unit that I got, but by comparison, compared to what I'm used to, because I weight my paddles down, I didn't need to do that here. And so I felt like I could flick a little harder on my flick volleys and my drives and even my half volley dinks, you know. So I felt like it could be more aggressive here, and I wasn't giving up anything. You know, the power level certainly isn't off the charts. I would say it's mid-tier power level, which is quite good. Pop is also about mid-tier, maybe a little above mid-tier in the power category. So very pleasantly surprised. I would absolutely play this paddle again and again and again and again. And I may just do that because I want to see how long the core can last before it crushes. If it does crush, don't know. But great, absolutely great paddle. Really like that paddle. Not going to tell you my favorite paddle yet. Okay, on to the Pro 4 Inferno. I'd heard about this paddle quite a bit in the pickleball space and among my friends. A few of my friends have this paddle. They've commented on it. And by the way, this is $229 before code. It's $194 after code. But the murmurings have been that the power level is very, very, very close to the broomstick. And I can absolutely agree with that. But this has much better control than a broomstick, at least for me, okay? Now, it's not better control than the Pro Canon. For sure, it's not better control than that. But for a paddle of this power level, power-wise, I would say this is above the B&B Loco. And it's so close power-wise to the boomstick. I think the boomstick might feel a little more powerful because it feels more hollow than this, and it's got more of a boomy sound to it than this. Although this does have a fairly boomy sound to it, but not like the boomstick. Balance again was really good, so I didn't feel the need to add any weight. Maybe if I added some weight to this will push it over the boomstick level and power. I don't know. Might help it control a little bit more. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I haven't felt compelled to try it because it's so good just the way it is stock with the Bohdi overgrip. So yeah, fantastic paddle. I definitely had where I was taking, I want to say 80-85% swings on the Pro Canon. I definitely had to dial it back to keep the ball in play with this. I was probably swinging closer to, 65 to 75% with this paddle. But once you kind of figure that out, resets and dinks are definitely easier to come by with this than it is the boomstick. I have the boomstick. I would pick this up every single time over the boomstick if I need something with more power. That is the Pro 4 Inferno. And last but not least, we have the Pro 4 Tornazo. Okay, just like the Inferno, before code, you're at $229. After code, you're $194. This one I was really looking forward to. And as mentioned earlier in the video, the reason why I was looking so forward to it is because one of my favorite pickleball players currently on tour, and he's just absolutely killing it, is Chris Hayworth. They market the Pro Blade 2 with Chris Hayworth, but he also plays quite a bit with this paddle, as mentioned earlier. In fact, I see him with this paddle more often than I do the Pro Blade 2, unless they just color the Pro Blade 2 the same way they did this, which is very possible. They used to do that with pros and tennis rackets all the time. But you'll notice there's some weight on this. I only just put the weight on. With no weight at all, I played an entire day in several games with no weight, stock just like I did the other two paddles. And with no weight, this was the most disappointing paddle in the line. Hold that thought, but with no weight, this definitely wasn't doing it for me. It felt too light. The swing weight felt too light. It had no plow through. Control was fairly good, but the sweet spot was just not great. So just stock, I probably would not have picked this paddle up again. But I added 3 grams of weight on each side at the 3 and 9 position. And my oh my, did that change everything. Absolutely everything. I mean, it's a completely different paddle now. Power-wise, this is still below the Inferno, but it is, I would say, I can't believe I'm even saying this, but power, control, and feel-wise and pop-wise, it is, I mean, this Gen 3 and this Gen 4, these are the same paddle. Just one is Gen 4, one is Gen 3 with the weight. I mean, absolutely great paddle, this Pro Canon. This paddle with the weight, it is so good. It is so, so good. And once I got the weight on there, I really didn't want to put this paddle down. I wanted to keep playing with it. And the only reason why I put it down is because I'm currently practicing for a tournament with my partner, and I didn't want him to freak out thinking I'm only playing with random paddles that I'm not going to be playing with in the tournament. So I'm going to stick to my main for the tournament coming up. But I had so much fun playing with this paddle because I could swing at the ball freely. The control felt great. The resets felt great. Pop was pretty decent, not as high as the Inferno. I mean, everything power and pop-wise is dialed down from the Inferno, but that's fine. It's definitely not a low-power paddle by any means. This is, with the weight, I would say it's upper middle tier in power. And pop, I would say it's about mid-tier. Control-wise, I mean, it's really good, guys. It's really good. I felt like this had better control than, well, I might say it has better control than my Hirache X Power 2 if the Hirache X Power 2 didn't have hex grip, because the additional spin does lend itself to having a bit more control. But touch and feel wise, this is right on par with that paddle. And I would even say this is the closest to a Gen 3 feeling Gen 4 paddle I've ever touched or played with. And because of that, I'm going to say these are definitely my 2 favorite paddles of this comparison. If you're really strapped for cash, or you just prefer the feel of the Gen 3, or you just don't want to spend a lot of money on a paddle, I mean, you are not compromising anything by going with the Pro Canon. If you want boomstick level power, but want a little bit more control, go with the Inferno. If you want Gen 3 feel with very decent power, very decent pop, and very, very good control, and you feel comfortable with weighting your paddle a little bit, the Tornazo is it. It's definitely it for me. And you know, I'm probably, it's taken me a little bit of time, but I'm probably not as heavily dependent mentally on the whole Jura Grit thing as I was. Maybe because I switch between paddles so much that I'm probably not going to have a paddle in my hand long enough for the grit to be super detrimental. Definitely I've noticed some grit wear and spin wear on some of my paddles, but when they're this good, it's like I kind of want to just keep playing them, you know, and the grit is going to last. This T700 Peel Ply carbon fiber face grit is going to last for a while, and when it stops lasting, I mean, $92, okay, I'll go buy another one. You know, this one's a little more expensive, you know, 194, but if you want a core that doesn't crush, I mean, the whole Jura Grit argument, it goes out the window with the Gen 3, because you're going to core crush this paddle probably about the same time or before you wear out the grit on the carbon fiber face anyway. So it doesn't really matter in this case. In this case, it does matter a little more, but if you like Gen 4 and you want a Gen 3 field paddle, really good power, really good pop, exceptional control, and you weight your paddle, this is the one. So really, I mean, there's a paddle here for everybody, and I think Luzz has done a fantastic job of really covering the lineup. And what's even better is all three of these paddles are dual certified. So if you're a tournament player, it doesn't matter at what level, you can pick up any of these paddles and go play any tournament on the planet and you're going to be fine. Most of us don't have to worry about that. You know, most organizations are just accepting any certification right now. Honestly, at the amateur level, I think that's the best way to do it. You know, who cares? Until you're playing, you know, pro qualifiers, I really don't think they should worry about UPAA certification, because it's just, you know, we're all just out here trying to have fun, you know, and why let the consumer overthink what they're buying? But anyhow, that is it for the video. I hope you guys like the studio setup, the audio. These paddles are fantastic. I will leave you a link and code down below, like I always do. If you want to pick up any gear, please help the channel. Use my code. Definitely helps support the cause. Helps me keep going. Helps me keep doing these paddle reviews for you guys, and then maybe improving a little bit as we go along. But that is it for today. Thank you for watching, and until then, see you next time.